All right. What's going on, everybody? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, we're starting out with the regular chat thing here, and of course, we got to do our audio check. So give me just a second. Make sure everything is working properly. Yep. How's that sound? That's not too bad. It'll get better once we're actively pointing and looking at stuff. But let's move this. Okay, so how are we doing? As I said, yes, we're going to start off right away here with just some talking on why we've been absent for the last week and a half. So we did have some family visiting, so that's why this weekend we weren't on. But prior to that, we took a little bit of time off just for some health reasons. Had an annual checkup because I'm old, so we get those, and never used to really go to the doctor um, unless I was like really sick. But yep, so now I have annual checkups. And for quite a while now, we've been kind of fighting a losing battle here against my glucose and my A1C. For those of you that know what that is, for those of you that don't, it's basically um, diabetes, depending on which type you get. But I have been in the pre diabetic state for about a year now. And we were trying with diet and exercise to get that under control, and it did not really work as well as we were hoping. So I have been moved officially to the type 2 diabetes category. And they gave me a new medication that I have to step my way up into, and it kind of threw me for a loop taking it. And it just wasn't really feeling myself. Um, I've still been playing, had some really stupid moments, but still productive, but yeah, the production value was just not going to be there. So just need to take a little time for myself. And we seem to be doing a lot better. Things are looking better. So yay. But time will tell. But yeah, that's where we've been. So definitely going to try to get more content out. I wanted to do some videos on this game as well. And I have been playing a little bit of First Ascendant, not as much. I know we've got the new breakthrough coming, so we're definitely gonna have to get back into it. But for right now, we just needed something new, and we found it with Dune Awakening, and that's where we are tonight. So let's go ahead and hmm, yeah, I think that'll do it. Still, I haven't forgotten. So here we are. We are now standing in our base. Now, um, since I was last on, we had a very small base. Well, it was a good size, but as we progressed in this game, we needed to make it bigger. And boy, did we ever. So let's do a quick tour of that. Mrs. Rabbit saw my base. She said it was ugly. That made me feel bad inside, but I guess that's what happens. Let's put this thing in here. Okay, so uh, we've just kind of been adding things on, which is a mistake. I'm going to definitely have to um, do some redesign because we're running around a whole lot. But the biggest thing is we got two donkey statues now instead of just one. And we went ahead and put some lighting on there to emphasize the donkeys. So hooray. Yeah, we got new clothes too. But anyway, so what have we done since? Well, we created this room over here, which is huge and empty, but that's where our spice is right now. We finally started needing to use spice in what we're making. I got quite a bit of little reserve here. This is just from collecting in the roundabouts. Got some refineries here, which is pretty cool. When you go downstairs, we've got our ore refinery. Forgot what I was making. I guess I'm making a bunch of stuff. Over here is where we keep all of our boxes of ores that we're making. The box beside the refinery is when it's finished. I did my best to try to keep this. Like this one will have granite and copper in it because those were the first ones I've seen. And then, as you get to some of the other materials, they tend to be a little heavier. So you have to don't fit as much in the old boxes as you would like to. But jazz me on. So yeah, but this is where all our ores go. In here, we finally found a place to put the worm statue. And we got our ornithopter. This is, I think, a Mark III or Mark IV. Let's take a look. Yeah, these are all Mark IVs. So it's a Mark IV Scout ornithopter. This was the second one I built. The first one I built, I stopped to get the items from one of the crashed ships that came down, and I got stuck in it. And then the worm came and ate us. That was literally the second thing I did with that scout. The first thing I did was go pay my taxes. I was like, yeah, I don't have to use the taxi service. Look at me. And then I came flying back, and I was like, ooh, a ship. And then landed, and then chomp. So fun stuff. We just got some spare generators because we got a lot of things. And if we come downstairs here, we got a big, huge open area. This is for vehicle stuffs. We got a vehicle fabricator. Here we got a sand bike and a sand buggy, which is pretty cool. So this is a little garage area, Penta Shield. I was having issues before because the way the ramp comes up, you would hit if you weren't careful. But we fixed that. Just depends on, preferably you want to build it on a level spot, but this still works. We got some pillars out front. Yeah. We will do an outside view of that. Oh, yeah, here we got our blood machine with a bunch of water. This has all the blood supplies of things of water nature. Got ourselves what I thought was going to be a big enough generator room. Boy, was I an idiot. I need a lot of power. Yeah. Just got a box and some generators here. You can see I still got my my water sources outside. I don't use them as much as I used to, but they used to be important. Let's go upstairs. Oh wait, there's one more room. This room's actually a very big mess. This is where some of the fabricators are, and apparently a generator. But yeah, I got a weapons fabricator, and then I've got my advanced. We've moved into advanced weapons fabricator, which is pretty cool. And now we'll go upstairs. This still hasn't changed. The upper level here was always for my recycler and my repair station, but we got something new over here. We unlocked ourselves some advanced death stills. Now, I always joked that I was a monster before because I was killing people and taking their blood and using it to make water sources. Wow, death stills. So now I kill them and take their whole body. We are cruising at like 127,000 for our max water. It's pretty awesome. Let's actually fill this up. I used to need water just to keep myself alive, obviously. But nowadays, no, that water is for building things and machineries and components. So, yeah. Let's see. Some things we need to make. I need to make a bunch of cobalt paste. Boy, can I ever make a lot of cobalt paste. I don't want to make that much cobalt paste, but I want to make a bunch because we're going to need it. That should be good. Let's go downstairs and see what that ore refinery's doing. We're not done with the base yet, though, but... Oh, wow. We got a lot of these, don't we? So many we can't carry them. I know, it was full. Yeah, we still got 135 on deck. Hell yeah, we do. Need to use a little bit of water. Not a whole lot. But I do need to use some. Let's go in here. We'll add some more of these. That'll work. So I wanted to get this number down some. Because we're going to go kill people and put them in our destills. Because we're monsters. This is something that I usually do. I will, first thing when I log in is I'll go over and, overnight those water resources have, that'll work. Take me down some, not enough though. But yeah, the water resources have usually worked their way down, so make use of them right now for some materials, and then we go. We got to go get people though. So the first thing I got to do is excuse me, got the hiccups. Make sure I got plenty of space. So at most I can be at this mark, which is the 100 volume, or no, somewhere around there. But because carrying peoples takes a lot. I could go in the vehicle and grab them, but nope. Tell you what, we're gonna go. Well, I'll tell you what. Before we do that, let's go into this room, which is another huge vaulted garage. Good lord. We got a couple more machines up here. These aren't staying. They just needed to go here for right now. We got the survival fabricator. I got a advanced survival, and then advanced garments, which is where I made the still suit that I'm wearing. That's the Choam or Chom one. And then we come up here and we got ourselves a little bit of a landing. Then we come up here to this ginormous pentashield with the upper one, and that is for these guys. So we got another scout. This is a Mark V scout. Once I could make it, I made it. It's faster, a little more durable. And that Ford just kind of sits down there lonely. And then we got ourselves an assault. Yeah. We are going to go snag some people, though, real quick. This thing's a little beat up. Look at all the neighbors I have now. You guys really didn't hear all that noise? Okay, so they're dead. We're going to take that. Probably could use those fuels. Where'd he go? Dude fell. All right, so we're going to pick this body up. Boop. And we will stuff this person in storage. Boop. I said I was a monster. And then I can come over here and I can actually carry this person. I gotta tell you, dude, that volume is insane. It really is as loud as hell. At least for me. I don't know about you guys. Like, I think if I was actually in this thing, it would be quieter than what it is right now. I'm gonna have to change that. Okay, so then we gotta come down here. And this is one of the things that kind of is terrible because we spend a lot of time running around. But we come over here. And we're gonna deposit the corpse, as monsters do. I don't think I can pull from that, so I've got to find a box. Can that one hold him? I think it can. Shoot, it can. Look at that. Just a little maneuvering around. And deposit that one. So now it's going to take 50 minutes, but that's going to be 100,000 water. I don't quite have the space for it, but we'll take care of that. It's a good investment. Pop some people in there, and then we head off and do our thing. By the time we get back, it's either done or close to being done. Now let me show everybody that watches my channel where all my money is. Here you go. Should be okay. I had the base locked down, but yeah, we'll see it. Man, I don't know how to adjust the volume though. Like with the screen up. Not long been a PC gamer, and I have it directly through the system, so that's where I have to change it. But I'm afraid if I change that, then it'll change the volume for you guys too. I don't know if that's insanely loud. You know what? Let me put the earbud back in. Should still be running, right? All right, yeah. I want to hop in this thing and see what it sounds like for you guys. Let me hear this. Well, you guys don't hear anything. Yeah, you don't hear anything. I wonder what that's all about. Let's see. Is that the issue? No. I think that's going to make an echo. Hmm. You can hear it through my system. Holy crap. Let me take a look at this, guys. Hmm. I got far too many audio captures here. What are you? That seems like that's it's picking up the game and the mic. So I wonder if that's pulling it from this. And that's the issue. Hmm. It does, but pretty sure this has like never been charged. Let's do that. Oh, that's picking up from something else. Let's see here. Oh, you get to do the technical side of things with me. Watch me as I fumble my way through here. Audio input. And I'm just going to create a new one. And let's see, what does this... No, that's not right. I think it might be an output capture. Realtek second audio? Is that what's going on there? Okay, looks like that worked. Let's drop 3. All right, so it's actually working. It's really loud though. And you're getting that horrible echo. I'm listening in right now, guys. Hold on. Let's see what that sounds like. At least game-wise. I can't put that on because then I hear it. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. All right, almost. That's what it sounded like inside my head. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna make our screen flutter again, and I want to drop this down probably right about there. That's where we're gonna stay. So, is what it is, folks. Oh, I gotta charge this headset. I've been just using it for nothing burger, I guess. Okay. I don't know what just happened there, but that's gonna be fun. Yeah, okay. God damn. So loud. Okay. Anywho. So, let's see. This guy needs, we need to do some work. Do I even have, yes, I do. I've been fighting with these wings trying to keep them up, dude. That's the worst thing about, need shields on, thank you. It's the worst thing about having an ornithopter, dude. These wings just, and I have skills that make this, like, somewhat better. There we go. Okay, so she's all fixed up now. So what we're planning on doing here, I have been going into the deep desert, always as a solo player, all by my little self, scared and frightened of the dangerous PvP zones. But we have been heading in there, and we have been sneaking in, getting our resources. I originally was a little concerned because it's PvP. So one thing about games like this, I've always seen that, like, originally, like in the beginning, PvP is pretty cool, where it's playing another player, you're testing, etc. And then eventually, the people that really like PvP get bored with that kind of thing. So then it just turns into ambushes and glitches, and eventually, of course, hacks and exploits and stuff. But it kind of just starts devolving, and I think the reason that happens is because people start getting bored. Um, and a bored person is not a good person. Bored people do terrible things. So, as a solo, we have been going in there. Um, my mindset on that, in fact, we'll probably do it again. We'll do it at some point tonight. But my mindset has always been, um, if I get into a fight, I'm just gonna run. The reason I'm gonna say I'm gonna run is because I don't know if that one person, if it is a one-on-one, if they've got friends, their friends are coming, if their buddies are on the ground. I don't know. I am built for speed and agility, so I could pretty much get away from anything, and I make use of that. So I'm not really going to press a fight, and that's how I've been getting all my resources: my titanium, my stravidium, and the spice that I've been finding out there. Overall, I've had very good experiences, and in fact, I have been near and in the vicinity of other players, and we've all been pretty cool about it. We're just collecting spice and trying to do our thing. I did get fired upon once. It was a group. They just didn't want me on the spice field because they were bringing a carry-all with a crawler on. So they were like, dude, get out of here. And yeah, there was plenty for everybody, but I get it. You want to do your thing. You don't want me sitting around there. Um, a majority of people will see that I am in a unarmed scout and they don't want to fight. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not prepared for one. At least visually, you could see that. But then some people look at that and say, "Well, dude might have rockets, so he might be trying to lure me in." I don't. I don't play around. I don't play games like that. I got better things to do than try to manipulate people's minds. So I go in strictly for speed, and with the right attitude and a few overall pretty easy methods, do pretty well. I haven't been killed. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Whatever I have to do. But yeah, so I've been in there. Now, what I've been doing is I fly out of this base, I go to the world map. Once I go to the world map, then I fly to the deep desert. I get to the deep desert, I fly all the way out there, get the materials and items I need. Once I do that, then I fly all the way back out to the world map, come back and process it. So that is a lot of travel time and a lot of wasted travel time. Plus, we're using fuel cells, damage to the vehicles, um, repair costs, and everything. So the best way to do anything to get and I'm after three main resources, which is spice, stravidium, and titanium. The best way to do it is to have a base actually in the deep desert. Now, it is not 100% PvP area, and if you build your base in the PvE portion, as long as you have power to your shields, nobody can really mess with you. Yeah, there's been words about people saying that their base, they logged off, and when they got there the next day, everything was removed from it. Whatever crazy happened, and if you build too close to the sand, people can use a thumper to draw a worm to break part of it, etc. So whatever. Stories are stories, whether they're true or not. I don't care enough to invest in finding out. My plan, though, is to build my base in a PvE area that is relatively secure, that I don't have to worry about anybody messing with me, and kind of just off and out of the way. Let me do what I'm doing. You guys do what you're doing. Everything will be great. We're going to put a spice refinery and an ore refinery in there so that we can make our stravidium, our titanium, all that stuff. Um, Actually, I'm going to have to make a stravidium I'm gonna have to do a gotta do an ore refinery and a chemical. I gotta add some stuff to that. We got some other things we gotta do, folks. But yeah. So anyway, I wrote down everything, I did on a little sheet, a spreadsheet on what I want, what I need. One of the benefits is that everything is half the cost when you try to build out in the deep desert, mainly because once a week it's all going to get destroyed. What the heck was that? That didn't sound like a spice bloom. Like a ship. Yes, we put windows here so that we can look out and see the wonderful world. Fortunately, I'm not seeing anything. And over here, we don't have as much of a view, and it's very sandy. But, I don't see anything. I definitely heard it. It sounded like a ship. But, yeah. In the deep desert, things are half cost because it gets destroyed every week by the Coriolis storm, which you should start seeing notifications of here pretty soon. So, what I have done is figured out all the materials I need for a very small refinery resource base out there in the deep desert. So this big boy here, which is my assault thopter, I have loaded up with all those materials. This is actually not all of the materials. I have to make a second trip. But this is a bunch, and definitely enough to get a lot of things started. I initially need to build the base, then I need to build a large wind trap to collect water, a couple cisterns to hold the water, and then the original console for the Thief, generators, and just some doorways and stuff. So this is enough to get me started. Plus, my goal is to zip out there and find a... Oh, I guess I put my sword away. But yeah, my goal here is to get at least started and get it functional, get the shields up so that I can keep all my stuff, and away we go. So here is our plastone, because we are tradies, so got to stick with the plans. And then the rest is just the different materials we need for the different things. We need our filters for our large trap. We need the cobalt paste, and then the ingots, duralumin, all this other stuff. We are going to, as I said, have to make a second trip. Now, this is built for storage right now, so this is not going to enter any fun. I did make a run out in the deep desert in the assault thopter, built for storage. It was awesome because it can hold more, but it's painfully slow, and you're also unarmed because you could have storage boxes or rockets, one or the other. So I was not a fan. But since I'm not going into any PvP sections, this will be strictly a PvE run, I'm going to be okay with that. Then what we'll do is we're going to come over here. I think, is it this box? Nope. It'll be this one here then. Yep, this one here by the door. There's the rest. That's the rest of the stuff I need to, what is it? I need a couple pentashields, some generators, medium boxes, a large wind trap, some cisterns, a medium spice refiner, because I can build those now, and a medium ore processor. But I'm also going to have to do a chemical one. I don't think I planned for that. So we'll have to do a chemical one and a regular ore. But you know what? That'll be okay. We'll figure it out. A lot of people go in, they just make the smallest little base possible and squeeze everything in there. I want this to be a little more functional, so I'm going to make it somewhat larger. In fact, we almost have a model for that, but we're going to see. But yep, so here's where we are. This is just the second box. So once I get the base built, then I'll come back. We're going to load this stuff up in the Scoutcopter, and we're gonna take that out to the wilds, and then we're just gonna start doing our runs there. So I'll be streaming that tomorrow once we get the base built and everything in. Probably tomorrow and Wednesday. So tune in for that. We'll talk about doing some solo run stuff and how to go about that. But yes, so that's where we are, and that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I'm excited because, like I said, it was nice getting the materials and stuff and doing the things, but I got to the point. I don't make bases near materials because the drive to and from doesn't bother me that much. Part of the game, kind of a relaxing moment for me, just cruising on along. Um, and I spread out my activities enough to where I'm not doing the same thing 30, 40 times. But doing the deep desert runs was getting old. So, plus, as you keep progressing, you need the stuff from out there, that plastanium and spice. And you need it in very large quantities. Very large quantities. So, you need to be able to maximize things a little better. But now, let me bring up the map because I want to show you something. Here's my base with all my vehicles sticking out. But we actually have a second base in Haga Basin. It's all the way down here. Down in Shoel. Place of darkness is what that means. The reason we do that is because this is the radiation zone, but this is where you get jasmine crystals. And jasmine crystals are part of Dura aluminum. Like I said when I was looking at my storage boxes, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually purposefully used granite. And I made a bunch of copper ingots, and I haven't had to make any since. It does get used, but not in very large quantities. Duraluminum seems to be something that you're going to keep using. It's in a lot of vehicle parts, a lot of machinery if you build them. Yes, you want to keep progressing, and again, we want to go to the plastanium, but we still have a need for this. So what I was doing was I would hop into the old ornithopter, and I'd fly over here and grab a couple things, and then I would fly back. And I could usually get 3 to 6 crystals worth of that material. But we built a base down here, and we're going to go see it. And we're going to take a spin around the homestead here so we can see her from the outside. What's going on out here? Craziness. But yeah, we're going to take a look on the outside. So we'll do a quick flyby. So I got that garage entrance. That is one of the early things I built. You can't see it, but I did put some wind chimes here. Yep, there they are in the middle. It's the small details that really, really matter. But this was the original... Oops, sorry. This was the original base setup. We got our electric and water on the roof. Need to make some adjustments from that. But this little shape here was the original base, and then this was added on to it. Then we added on that big garage down at the bottom, and then, of course, the hangar up here on top. And we're getting to the point where we're going to have to go through and do a whole bunch of changes. But we did put some decor with some pillars and some stonework there, which is really nice and fancy. I'm getting shot at from the guys that I killed before. Let's see, we need some fuel, so I think we had one on us. Yep, good enough. Alright, so we're heading that way. Now, depending on how I feel, sometimes I'll just fly through the radiation. It will fill up the meter, but I'll get through it before it starts hurting me, so I wouldn't want to hang out there, but for the moment, just to get through. Works just fine. So we're going to get up here about 650 or so. Cut the engines. Get our dive for 170, and we're going to set it a little low, and we'll just S our way through. So, as you can see, I lowered my nose just a tad. That's going to keep my speed up, even though my altitude is dropping. But if you just hit S, you'll lose a little bit of speed that you'll pick right back up, and you'll gain some altitude that you immediately lose. So this kind of helps me just to maintain this all the way through. I can do this and just tap the S key every so often, and that will keep me flying at a decent height and a decent speed. Use this in the deep desert, so I'll just glide and away we go. So our base is actually down here. Got some neighbors, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, it is just barely out of the radiation zone. So we are safe. That's it there with the penta shield on the top. Yeah, that's good enough. Alright. Oh, she's going to bounce a little bit. Cool. So as you can see, this is a very simple base. I don't have anything up here except for the generators. And, oh, look at that. We got our old buggy. So when I made the new buggy, I didn't know what to do with the old one. I was like, do I want to get rid of it, or do I keep it, or what do I do? So I just kept it for a while, and I honestly used it for just kind of storage transfer and holding on to things. And once it really didn't have much of a use anymore, I was kind of done with all that. I was like, oh, what am I going to do with it? So I slapped a real fancy set of accessories. It is a standard Mark III buggy. It's a little beat up. We got to fix her. But we got a Mark V storage and a Mark V cutter array, which means we can break down jasmine crystals. So what we do is we come over here to the only storage box that's in here. And as you can see, I've already got like 250 of these crystals. And this is some materials in case I needed to make it bigger. I think I found this on the ground. And I got myself a radiation suit and some iodine pills. So what we do is we switch out to those. And then we hop into that bad boy right there. And we can drive through and pull in a ton of jasmine crystals. A phenomenal amount. We're going to do it. But before we do that, I want to come out here. That ship is a PvE area, and you can get some decent stuff from it, which is pretty nice. But the main reason we're coming out here is for this guy. Right there, look at that dude. I think I have to get a little closer to home fry. Dude, what are you doing? My shield will hold. He's dead. He normally doesn't have too much good stuff on him, but this is nice. Get some fuel cells and 300 Solari every time we come out here. And it's really nice because there's 2 boxes. So we're getting about 600 every time this happens. And we'll go do our run, and when we come back, he'll be back. Which is awesome. I think we're stuck a little bit. There we go. So, yeah, we get some Solari out of it at least. So I like to go over and say hi to him every time. This is not the best looking base in the world. Doesn't have to be. We are not going to keep this base. I'm only going to have this up for maybe a week or two. Because we're getting so much of that jasmium that we just don't need it. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to pull both of these over. So the radiation suit, obviously plus 92%. So it takes the radiation down way, way down and allows you to survive. It's a Mark V unit, so that's cool. And then the iodine pills give you an extra little bit. So I'm running about 95% radiation reduction. It lets me stay in there for a long time, as long as I don't do anything stupid. One of the worst things you can do when you're in these radiation areas is to stand in the actual radioactive liquids that surround the crystals. With the buggy, I don't have to do that. So it takes that out of the equation. I could stay in there forever. And while we're in there, we're going to investigate a couple caves and see if we can get some more Solari out. So we're already at like 600 just for doing absolutely nothing. And that's in there. That's the only thing we need. So, come over here. Probably going to drop a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, let's drop some of that just because I don't want to run around with the extra weight. It's probably where that came from. I'm going to keep the welding wire. Just in case I run into some problems out there and had to fix the vehicle. I think I actually need to fix it before we go out. 117 ain't a lot. But is what it is. Okay, so we've slimmed ourselves down. Let's check the vehicle and make sure she's in good shape. Should be good on fuel, but we're definitely going to fix a couple things. Alright, pull the welder out. She's not in that bad a shape. I think these things are just kind of beat to begin with. You're great. You're okay. You're okay. I already fixed you. Okay. 80. Well, we got 80 left. That's fine. Alright. So here we're going to go to our inventory and we're going to take our cool still suit that we put the Dune movie changes on. And now we have our radiation suit. So for these iodine pills, what you have to do is you have to plop them into a position where you could use them. And that's how you use these. So this stuff's not heavy enough for me to get too excited about. Like I said, most of what we're doing is going to be done in the vehicle. So should be fine. Where do we want to go? We want to go up here. There's a really cool cave. There are some other caves here, but we want to go into this one. Haven't been there yet. Saw somebody talking about it earlier today, and there's apparently some really good stuff in there. So we're going to, as you can see, look at this. Yeah. Very few things. Wreck of the Lido. These are PvP areas. I'm not necessarily too excited about going there right now. So, and also for a mission for the las gun, I have to go there. But we're not doing that today. So, in we go. I don't have a fuel cell. Oh, she came with fuel cells. Oh, look at that. And she came with welding wire. So that's awesome. I don't think I need this, but why not, right? I like to get into the habit of refueling when the world's not coming to an end, you know, because then you have plenty of time. Alright, so before we get too crazy, we're going to drop out. And we're going to hit 5. So now we got our little green iodine thing there. And now we get back into the vehicle. And we're going to go ahead and accept that. And in we go. Now there are some other materials here. Like you can see there's some of the basalt stone. And there's some fuel cells. But we're here for something specific. I think there's bad guys every now and then too. Alright, so here's our first node. There we go. We just got 207. D9. Maybe some down here. 58. That's good. And as you can see, we just barely got our first little click on... Lord. We just got our first little click on the radiation meter. So this is incredibly safe. Oh, look at that. This is incredibly safe, very productive. And like I said, I saw somebody else that had mentioned coming down here and making a base. And I thought, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. So we did. The area I want to go to is over here. So we'll just put that on there to make sure we keep it. There are some nodes in there. I guess I could go kill those douchebags, but we want to go to this big cave here. Easy there. It's interesting. Taking a look around here and see what we can find. Quite a few downed ornithopters. Don't go in. That's where we want to go. So yeah, I would already have had to have left. A lot of people say that you can get the crystals without having to step in the goo, but no, some of them you actually have to. So, and that right there is where we want to go. So let's hop out. Sure if there's bad guys in here and how many. We definitely want to keep track of the iodine pills to make sure they're good. Oh no! Dude didn't make it. Go ahead and take everything, right? Oh, there's some jasmine crystals. I guess we could take them. Dude. Is that a living? Oh, no. Thought homie was alive. Still doing good. Scary. So this used to be an altar. But I know that over here is a fancy chest. And that's got super cool stuff in it. Another one over here. Nope. Nothing too fancy. Alright, we're getting about halfway. And I feel parched. And unfortunately, I don't have a still suit anymore. So, shoot, shoot, and shoot. That way, we don't get too thirsty. Now I could stay in here and mine those, but I gotta be honest, I'm good with it. I'm getting them from the truck, so. Alright. Still got a little bit before we're at the halfway mark. I'm definitely gonna try to head back once we get to halfway. That's when I'm gonna be judging whether or not I'm too far from home. Weird that it lit up so much when I got near. Okay, so my iodine pills are running out, so I'm gonna step out here for a second and take another one. Even though the first one didn't run out, it's okay. Yes, you can activate worms here, as you can see. No, they cannot get you if you're smart. So, cannot make it through that. That's a shame. Oh, he tried though, didn't he? I don't know if there's guys in here. Pretty sure that's too far. Yep, that one might not be. Nope, they are. Do you know what? Let's just get right in the middle of this junk. I mean, luckily I'm not in the goo. My vehicle is. Alright, folks. That was dumb. Alright, so I think I did take a little bit of damage from that, but we are over the halfway mark. So we're going to start making our way back. There's anything in that? Nope. Sound was a little concerning. Oh, now we're doing gymnastics. Alright, we're coming up on 3/4 of the bad stuffs, so probably not the best hill to climb. I could have gone somewhere else, but there we are. So we're out of the radiation zone now, and you'll see it starts dropping off incredibly quick. We technically could just turn around and go right back in. But I'm going to see something here. Yep, I'll just get out. So if I come over here to old Mr. Box, and we switch to the buggy. Now, since we're over here, our other vehicles are too far out of range. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 35, almost 4,000. Added to what we've got here, that is an incredible amount of materials. Like I said, I used to come in down here with the Scout Thopter, and I would, at best, pull 300 or 400 before I would have to skibbity bop on out of there. But now, look at this. And that is honestly, that's enough to, man, we could do so much with that. Because duraluminum doesn't require that much. I think it's like a 1-to-4 ratio if I'm not mistaken. Might be mistaken though. Yeah, we'll see. But tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch to our Scout Thopter, and we're gonna see how much of this we can take home with us. I don't want to get too crazy with this. There we go. All right. So there we are. So what we can do is, this was just the visit that I was making right now. But we could just come down here anytime we want and just fly down, load up everything from that box, and call it a day. 3,300 Solari. Not bad. So we got the Acheron gauntlets, which are pretty fancy. I think I can actually, clear that here because I'm in a base. Hey. I got some jasmine crystals here that I'm carrying myself. You know what? I could fill up. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to fill up while we're getting ready to leave. Just make sure. Oh, wait. There's something else. I don't want to take the iodine pills with me. I want to make sure I leave them here because this is the only place I really need them. So that we'll put you back on. Okay. So make sure we put our radiation suit, and at this point I check to see how kind of shape it's in. Iodine pills, and let's see, I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to be able to bring. Yeah, 233. But you know what? It's more, so we probably should clear out some of the rest of this junk. And leave that down here. Can I bring that? Ooh, I can't. Assault Ornithopter Thruster Mark 5. Not bad. Let's split you up again a couple times. That should do good. We should be able to fit everything, all this silliness in. And there we go. Alright, so we're leaving some fuel cells, which is a good idea. We got some salt and materials to make. I was like, probably shouldn't have basalt stone because you can't do anything with it down here, but maybe keep it here just for some reserve. But yeah, so this is a nice little base here to get something done. I was thinking about doing the exact same setup, except I don't need a ground-based pentashield wall for what I do in my deep desert base. So then I would bring that little scanner tool over here, take a picture of the base. That way I could just plop it on the ground and build what I need to. This one's a little ugly. Like I said, I just threw it together. But yeah, nice little setup here. Somebody else had made a video talking about coming down here just to get those materials, and I was like, wow, you know what, dude, that was a great idea. So I did it too. Guess that wind's from the Coriolis storm that they're planning on. Hey, hey, hey. Alright, like I said, we'll get our speed up. Leave it just a little down. It's going to kind of be a rough day in the servers with that Coriolis storm coming. It's amazing how fast that radiation comes without the suit and the iodine pills. But we make it through even though we've got the warning flag. But yep, a neat little base serving a neat little purpose. I think they're fighting with each other. I think I have to go outside to get the sand off the windows. I don't think it can reach. Yeah. I don't think that was a person. I think that was some NPCs fighting each other, so we're good. Alright, back in. Alright, so now we got to disperse the super awesome and fun and exciting stuff that we got. So first off, we got a bunch of coins. We're doing real well with money, so yay. You got that, and you got those. That goes somewhere else. That stays here. Okay. Still running. Good on you. Yeah, you're still running too. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to drop those that jasmium stuff off. I think it's here. It is not. Titanium is there, which means it's here. Jasmium. Choo-choo. Boop. and boop. So we go there. And here's our scout. So yeah, I would be lucky to come back with enough to do one of these from a trip. And here I've got this, items in this layer, and there's still more. I could go back and get more if I really wanted. Um, Depending on how much materials you need, this will last for a while. To the point where I think what I'll do is I'll get this eventually to fill completely full, and then I'll probably just destroy that base and use this as I need it. And once I finally need to get more, then we'll go back down and build another one. I don't know if it's worth it to keep it running full time, but we'll see. Yeah, I knew we wouldn't have enough space to do that. Why do I have the hiccups? Boop and boop. Yep. And we're still making 14 and 70, so we do have quite a bit of stuff still getting processed. Alright. Let's go up here to this box. We'll do the same thing because we've got some infused dust to drop off, but nothing else. We're alright, I guess. 200, huh? Cobalt paste is another thing that you seem to use a lot of, so I wondered why I had so much. So yeah, making cobalt paste is definitely, it's heavy too. And I think I'm on a little dangerous level here for cobalt paste. Not that I've got a good amount of it, but the stuff to make it. We definitely need to go see how much ethereite crystals we have. But dude, I built those handrails because they looked right, and then I just spend all my time jumping over them. It's silliness. So this would be nothing. That should be Stradivarium. That should be there. Is it you? Might be out of ethereite crystals, guys. Nope, I got 248. At some point, we are definitely going to have to head over to Hager Rift. We'll use the big buggy to get more of that stuff. That's, I mean, 248 is still a ton. Especially since I just made a ton. But, I don't know, just see all the empty things makes me sad. Okay. So, here we are. We're back to 124,000 water, which means we have been messing around for at least 50 minutes because the bad guys came back. So, we could make more stuff if we wanted. I don't have any of those things, so we might just head upstairs. Tell this bad boy to make some more cobalt paste. So, silicone blocks we also need eventually. I think we're doing all right with fuel cells right now. I've got a ton of flour sand. I just went out and grabbed bunches of that. Don't need to make 800, but let's go ahead and make 340, and then we're going to spend the rest of our water. Nope, we spent the rest of our ethereite crystal, so we are officially out now. But water we still got brewing. So that would be the next thing that we have to do. Unfortunately, that is all the way up in here. And we've cleared out, except for this one, most of our contracts. And for ethereite crystals, it's worth driving the truck over. Sometimes when I need like the aluminum ore, stuff like that, I'll come up in here and we'll we'll grab it with the ornithopter if I just need a little bit. The basalt stone for the base that we're building tomorrow, I use the ornithopter to go get that because I know I'm not going to need so much. But in this case, we'll definitely have to go and we will definitely have to go go with the truck. It's annoying. But I don't think we're going to be producing much of anything anymore, so I think the waters, they'll take care of themselves. Get rid of that. Boop. The other things that I wanted to do was a planetologist stuff. I don't think I have any of these things. If I need the money, could do that. Could have done that while we were down there. It's a shame. Could go after the red scorpion. What time is it? It's nowhere near good time for that. I don't know why, uh-oh. We're gonna get spotted? That used to bother me. I'd be like, oh no, the guys are gonna spot me. And now they're just basically death still fuel. I'm a monster. Yep, so they both finished processing, so those people's is gone. And you know what? Since the water level's pretty high, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this bed down because they use a ton of power. So I just leave them off when I'm not actively using them. You know what we do have to do? We do have to pay our taxes. So we have unpaid taxes, but we got plenty of time to do it. I think building that base in the deep desert, if I expand beyond like the small little thing, if I go with regular sub peep instead of the standard or the advanced one, then it'll technically be free and there's no taxes on it. But if I go bigger, I think I have to pay taxes. But I don't know what happens. Do I have to pay taxes on something that's going to get destroyed before the time they're due? Might have to do a science experiment. I know the first time I paid taxes, then I came back and advanced my base, and then I had more taxes. It's like, guys, it's not cool. Yep. Boy, that would be fun. All right, so we'll see. Let's take a look at skills and planetologist. I do have level 2 on that, and I have been moving them up, but I do need to get the next upgrade, and that would definitely help with going into deep desert and stuff, because I'll be able to get more items from the mining. The vehicle scanning isn't going to be so much. That's nice there. That cutter ray gets a little more. So we are getting some extras. And our compactor's getting extra. I would love to get that up to level 3, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do it. So, tell you what we'll do. We're going to get the last bit of usage out of our wings. So like I said, I'm constantly repairing these bad boys, and oh, I run out of welding wire. Did I use it all? All right. There's none in that guy. Should be some in the sand bike. Yeah, we'll use the sand bike supply for right now. I gotta put it in my backpack, actually. It's not gonna do me any good over there. Okay, but like I was saying, I am constantly doing these wings. They almost immediately come out. The radiation damage? Maybe? So once they get down to, less than half, I like to get rid of them. I'll recycle them and put a new set on, and we'll get quite a bit of usage out of it. But I don't want to go into the deep desert with a ornithopter wings that are even remotely discolored on the, I didn't even know that was there, on the hull picture. Just because that's one of those things that's how you stay alive. If people are shooting rockets at you, they're going to try to break your wings so they can get you on the ground. If you're in the air, you can dodge, you can get away, you can speed away. But they break your wings, you're on the ground. Now you're done. And yeah. So we don't go into the PvP areas unless our vehicle is 100% ready to rock. And we know that she won't let us down. This. Oop, sorry. As you can see, I've repaired it as much as I can. And they're already a light orange. It's no bueno. So. And now I've got a bit of a glitch here. So we're, there we go. That should have done it, right? Thank you. Little visual problem there. So making sure the vehicle is set up, ready to roll, that's very important. The other thing about going into the deep desert is you want to make sure that you got plenty of fuel cells, and in this case we have this, but I'm going to keep it on me. I have that. Always have fuel, always have welding wire. The fuel cells, I always have one on me, and then I keep the rest in the ship. Because even if I max out both of my storage, my backpack and the vehicle storage, when I use this, there'll be enough space to bring this one over. So, always keep one in the backpack, the rest in your storage vehicle. This is kind of heavy. I usually bring two. Having 3 plus this partial, it's fine. I don't know why you're there. What do you weigh? Doesn't weigh anything. That is fancy. That's a Mark V thruster, too. I never did the thrusters. Tell you what, we're gonna drop this stuff off. These boxes are literally up here just for this is crap that I brought home in my ornithopter. So that'll be fine. We might just pop that on. I don't know if I can. I think you can put thrusters in storage, thrusters and rockets. Okay. Second thing that I could tell you about surviving in the dark desert or deep desert, dark. How you fly your ornithopter is going to really determine things. When I first got mine, I was very precise. You know, I would lift up and then I would go, and you know, even though it can't take damage from impacts, I'm trying not to do it because I'm trying to fly skillful. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter. And my advice would be drive this thing like you stole it. Because when you get out there in the deep desert, if you do get engaged and you need to break contact, if you've got some pretty decent flying skills, it's going to very much help you out there in that situation. But if you Sunday drive everywhere you go, then when someone's shooting at you, you might be in some trouble. I thought about doing a video on ornithopter flying. I have no idea where I'm going, by the way. I'm just in the air. We're just in the air and we're going to see what we can see. Doesn't look like we see lots of anything, actually. Flower sand's going a little crazy. But yeah, if you just do this all the time, in the event that you get hunted down, someone's going to eat your lunch. So fly it like you stole it, folks. Sitting too low, microphone's in my face. Oh, let's see what we can do. This area coming up is fun. So when you're gliding, you can do gradual turns. Don't worry about your wings. You can clip buildings, cliffs, things like that. They won't care. But if the main body hits it, then it'll definitely, that's another story. If you turn this way, you don't get very good response times out of it. I guess if we wanted to, we could grab some ethereite. This is where you get them. There's some right there. So bringing the buggy is a lot better because you can carry more, but man, you can get it so much faster with the ornithopter because you just have the ability to drop from one level to the next so much easier. Oops, sorry. So when you want to drop down, just hit shift and enter into your vulture and that'll drop you right on the ground. Probably should put my shield on. Alright, let's see what we got here. Really? Gonna be a hard cut, guys. No, it's not too bad. But we are only getting 57. Is this the real world? Rockin'. See a money box here, right? Look at that. Oh, we might as well take it all. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just here for crystals. Supposedly this is like a big area for deserters and stuff like that, so, you know. Y'all do what you're doing. Somebody else has the same idea, right? So we're not going to go too far in there. Oh, my Thopter legs are being crazy. Let's drop that so we can pick up some running speed. So with the buggy, I could only usually get the two in the front there. You can drive in some of those areas, but they aren't the easiest thing to reach. See, that's pretty sweet. We're already up here to these two. Otherwise, we'd have to do some acrobatics. Let's hit shift. Drops us straight down, and we're good. Let's go do some climbing. Uh-oh. Where? Come on, man, break. Almost died for this. Don't run now. Yeah. Nah. You know what? I'm going to need those. What are those heavy darts? I'll take the heavy darts. Is that what you had? No. You're garbage. Come on. There we go. Don't get stuck in the game. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. What have I done? So, of course, we go right back to it. I mean, yeah, that's what we do here, right? Making me work for these. My backpack is full. Because I never dropped it off. Oop. And hit the wrong button. Actually, it doesn't look like I did. Not too many of those. Any fuel cells I get, I'll probably put over there too. It's not really a lot of weight. Fuel cells isn't either. But anyway, yeah. So it ain't all about buggies. When I do iron, iron, aluminum, granite, and fuel cells, I'll love to use the buggy. But also, like I said, flying in here helps teach you a little better ways of flying when you get into the deep desert. Pretty sure they're going to shoot at me. Pretty sure I'm going to shoot at him first. Hey, buddy. He should have a friend. Oh, there it is. Okay. Should be both of them, I think. I'll take the heavy darts. I actually need to be taking the plant fibers too. That's how you make filters, and kind of ran into a bit of a problem where I did not have any filter material, any filters left. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and make them, and then not able to. So you know what? We're going to solve that problem. We're going to pick these up even though it's kind of goopy. Oh, if I'd have known it was over here and I'd just gone straight over here. Is there another one on that side? Nope. Yep. So usually you will, every time I come back, I'll drop off the material just to be a little more efficient. I don't think we've doubled up anything else, and that we can get rid of. Yuck. Don't need you. Get away. I don't remember which way we came in here from. I guess we need to make a right. Hey guys, just duking it out. All right, have fun, guys. Get a little jittery here. I feel like there's more. There's always more. Come on, man. There we go. A little more behaved. So you'll notice that anytime they're up here high, there always seems to be a method. There's some boxes set up. There's, oh, look at that. Take that. Guess I'll take it all. There's a method to get up there. By design. You know what? Let's just take the copter in. Just gonna stand there? Feels like a death moan. It's kind of creepy. There were two. There you are. They always peek. Do I have a blood thing? Apparently I do. I should be vamping out on these douchebags. Some more water. I mean, I will take your heavy darts. Did he just take a pot shot at me? Yeah, he did. Look at you. It's quite possible that I would never have known he was there. Come on. Thank you. Let's see. I guess we'll just drink it. Thanks for the water, fellas. Well, this is pretty sweet here, guys. Of course, I'm too close for that cutter array to properly do it. How are we doing on weight? We're alright for now. Can I climb, please? Guess not. Not today. Ooh, boy, we screwed up there, didn't we? Oh, look at this. All sorts of fun stuff happening. There was a time where that would have meant a death sentence for me. My dumbass would have died. So many. We have evolved as a player. I mean, I'm still hurt really bad. That was a dumb thing for me to do, but as you can see, we're alive and they ain't. Yep. Alright, filled up the blood cycle, so we don't need that. Let's just go back to... I'll take the heavy darts. I think it's about time to get back to our bird, though. No, 140? We're great. Oh, we're so going up there. Dude. That was really weird. The dude was just chilling there. I guess I will. Ooh, it's dangerous when it gets that close to the wall. Like, sometimes it doesn't actually let you cut it. This should be the last one I'm able to get. Yep. Alright, we gotta go back to the bird. Anything good? I'll take it. Oh my god. Yep. Boop. And 250. So we're getting up there. No damage. No damage at all. While it is not realistic, I will definitely make use of that fact so that I can crash and careen my way through everything. Can't believe that worked. Thought that was going to be a very tough cut. Fortunately, deep desert flying is very, very boring. Hmm. Yep, can never have enough cobalt paste, apparently. Another reason why I don't like bringing the buggy in... Come on, man. Bringing the buggy in here is this exact spot. I got stuck here once. I accidentally brought my buggy up this ramp, and I went right over this thing and right over the handrail, and then it laid on its side and got stuck here. I ended up having to use my welder to completely disassemble the entire buggy and store it, and then bring it out here and put it back together. It was ridiculous. I was gonna say, man. Oh, we don't have much more space, so come right over here. That's another part about the buggy that kind of blows for this area is, you know, there's a lot of ramps that you have to make use of. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, we got it. A lot of times if you have a situation like that where it's just a crappy lines we're cutting, you can just transition, move over to like the opposite side and scan it again and see what it gives you. This one's okay. A little bit of visual deflection though. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm caring anymore. Now, that's a statement that comes from being in an ornithopter. Because if I was in a buggy, I'm getting everything I possibly can. But since I'm in an ornithopter and it's nothing to get in and out, that's how I'm getting all hoity-toity and everything. You know what? We're good. We're good. So the other thing that sucks about being in a buggy is from right here, if I make the decision to leave, I got to go all the way up here to drive out of that. Or I got to come all the way down here to drive out of this. Which, to be honest, it's not that bad. But I'm in an ornithopter. So now we're out. And that is so much better. Hey, it's another ornithopter guy. Alright. Get up to about 550, 600, and we'll hit the glide. So while we're flying, we're definitely going to keep an eye out for any kind of spice that might be laying on the ground. Or a vehicle. In fact, we're going to make a wide sweep this way. Let's see what we can find. A whole lot of nothing's what we're finding, right? It's kind of upsetting. I first logged on earlier just to set everything up, make sure everything was working, and didn't test the audio, of course. And when I came out of my base, there were 2 spice fields, one right outside my base. I was like, cool, and I went over, but somebody had already gotten it. It just didn't disappear for me. And then flying out to Shoel, I saw another one. I was like, oh, I'll grab that one. I'm just keeping an eye on him. But yeah, then there was a second one out there in Shoal, and I was like, oh, cool, look at that. That'll be alright, I'll grab that one. No, that was glitched too. It does occasionally put them out there in the radiation. And I don't think a lot of people go after it just because it's out there in the radiation. That Coriolis storm coming in and... Heck, what's that? Yeah, but with that storm coming in, makes it a little tough to see things. I got old eyes anyway, man. So, yep, we are set up for our deep desert run. We're going to be building a base. I was thinking that I may just go out real early, like right after the reset, just to claim my spot. And then when I get home from work, from my real job, we'll be actually going out to build the base. There we go. A little extra in there now. Where is carbon? Is carbon here? No, that's for stone. I got a lot of carbon. There it is. Oop. But yep, I got carbon and ore together, or iron together, because that's how you make steel. I got tons of this stuff, so I really don't ever need to be picking that up. Iron you can get anywhere. But I did kind of move out of the iron realm, where that's as useful as it used to be. Now we're just putting things away, making sure everything's good.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
That's the Coriolis. Yep, 9 hours. Okay, so let's turn this bad boy on. This will be the last thing we do tonight. Because, like I said, I don't want to go out in the desert with busted wings. So here we are for the Mark V wings, the ones that I have. I need 170 water, which I got tons of. Duralumium, doing real good. Servox is crazy. Cobalt paste, you always need it. And industrial pumps. So we're in good shape. I can make a full set, which I'm going to. We're going to craft 4 of them. And I'm going to hold off on it, but I'm going to put them back up in one of the boxes up there. So tomorrow when I'm actually going out to the deep desert to go out there and stay out there, we're going to put the new set of wings on. That way we're full powered. Probably should make like a generator and engine as well, because they're getting a little bit of tax on them. But see, for the generator, sorry, the engine, well, we're way good on everything. I can't do a generator though. I need military power regulators before I can do a generator. So maybe we'll go out and get those. I have to look it up. I don't know exactly where they are. But I've still got some time on my engine and my generator, so it's not as critical as the wings were. I don't want to put them on now, because if I am going to do other stuff, then I'll start taxing them. I'll go in the bad wings that I don't have to worry about anybody trying to shoot at me and bringing me down. Here we go. Wow, really? We're doing Landsrads 9 hours before the storm? Any more power to you. Yeah, my base design has me running the steps and doing crazy stuff. Sorry. It is this box right over here. So this is the one that I'm going to use for the second run, and I'm going to go ahead and put these wings in there. That way I'll remember it. So when I come to pick up all this stuff, I'll be like, oh yeah, I got these wings. Because what I'd like to do is, with that second run for the base, the first one is going to be getting the base mostly set up. The second run is going to be finishing off everything I need, getting everything done. And then I would like to, once I got it running, head straight out and start collecting. So We're going to see if we can get all this stuff over in one shot. I'm hoping we can between the storage on the thopter. Sorry. The medications, folks. And the storage in our backpack. We should be all right. But I got a little bit of cleanup to do and a little more preparation, just some silly stuffs. And then we're good to go. So I'm going to keep a running total of how much I can make of everything out there. And we'll see what it is once we get it done. But I'm going to call it a night here. It's going to be a little late. It's 9 o'clock. 2 hour stream, not bad for a Monday. Normally I don't do Mondays anymore. I will definitely be on Wednesday again, like normal, 7 Eastern. So we'll definitely be knee deep in the deep desert by then. So hope to see you then. Yeah, we're going to call it a night here. So as always, I will see you out there. Have a good one. Normally I say take care, but all right. As always, take care.